For the first time as the Canadian men's national team manager, Jesse Marsh has called up his first ever Canadian dual national. And it's a very exciting call up, but also a very well earned and deserved call up for the Minnesota United striker who has absolutely taken his first ever full MLS campaign by storm. That is Tani Oluwaseyi, and Tani Oluwaseyi has been absolutely sensational. He has been brilliant, and there's not enough words to express how good his first ever MLS campaign has been with Minnesota United, as he's had 15 matches, scoring 7 goals and also adding 4 assists along the way. Absolutely brilliant numbers, which puts him up there with some of MLS best, along the way with Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, some of the world's best number 9s to ever play football, and obviously the GOAT of football. And this is extremely exciting for Tani Oluwaseyi because he has well deserved this call-up. This isn't one of those dual national call-ups where you look at it and say, well, we need to get him in the camp and get him on the field just to get him cap tied and make sure he's Canadian and can't switch nations. This is a call-up that is being absolutely deserved and earned off form, and not just the fact that he's a dual national. And this is remarkable for Tani Oluwaseyi because he is entering a Canadian striking and number 9 pool that is absolutely deep and depth heavy, and probably the most deep position in this Canadian roster. Absolutely looking at some of those players down the list, it's Kyle Larin, it's like Jonathan David, Jason Russell-Rowe, Ike Ugbo, Theo Bair, Tani Oluwaseyi now in that pool, and there's other names that I'm surely forgetting as well, I'm sure. And even Daniel Jebison, if you want to add that onto the list, is another dual national. But Tani Oluwaseyi deserved this call-up. The numbers he was putting up, you can't argue how good he's been and what league you're in, because no matter which league, you're putting up those kinds of numbers, especially in a league like MLS, who has massively improved and has now become a very attacking-centric league, where it's based off goals, based off producing up front, and very exciting football at the final third of the pitch. Tani Oluwaseyi has proved this call-up and has earned this call-up. Like I say, there's lots of call-ups where supporters are crying out for it, just the fact that they want to make sure that player is Canadian and can't switch nations. And Tani Oluwaseyi is one of those call-ups. Like I say, you can't look at it solely as a call-up that's being brought up to the team by just to please the fans, just to please it that he's going to become Canadian and can't switch nations. But this is due to the fact that he's earned this call-up. It's not just a call-up where you're saying, okay, come see the camp, come see how we are, come see what Canada's all about. This is a call for Tani Oluwaseyi saying, you're a part of this program, you're a part of my plans, you're a part of this squad. And this is one that I look at where you look at this call-up for Tani Oluwaseyi, that it's Jesse Marsh fully taking the reins and proving that this is his squad and his era. Because you saw it a bit with Dominic Zator coming back involved in the picture, Kyle Hebert getting back involved again, and even with Theo Bair fully becoming into this roster. But now with Tani Oluwaseyi, it's really a stamp onto this squad that it's saying, like, Jesse Marsh is now saying that this is my squad, this is who I want involved. This is a dual national I see for the future. Because Tani Oluwaseyi is still only 24. He's still very young. He's a very exciting striker, a very lethal striker, number 9. And I look at this as another way of Jesse Marsh looking at the form and saying, yes, I'm rewarding you with this call-up. Nobody's getting replaced on that squad for Tani Oluwaseyi coming up, because it is friendlies, where Canada is going to play Bordeaux, France in Bordeaux, and Rotterdam against the Netherlands. And it's a call-up where no one's being replaced. It's a well-deserved call-up due to form, and a call-up where I see Jesse Marsh looking at it and saying, this is a great way for me to put a stamp on the squad, saying, Tani Oluwaseyi, you're a part of my plans, you're a part of the program, and I see you being a part of my plans in the future, whether that's alongside Jason Russell-Rowe, Ike Ugbo, Jonathan David, Kyle Larin. Who knows what Tani Oluwaseyi will end up as? Who knows where he is on that depth chart right now for Jesse Marsh? But right now, when you look at it, Jason Russell-Rowe didn't get a call-up, but Tani Oluwaseyi did, and that really kind of shows you in the MLS player pool who's ahead right there, who's showing themselves. Yes, maybe the dual national factor could have played a bit of a factor as well there, because Mauro Biello still is with Jesse Marsh and could have said, let's bring in Jason Russell-Rowe, but Jesse Marsh might have had that little word saying, no, Tani Oluwaseyi is a dual national, his form rewards it, he's been sensational, and I think he really has, and this is a great call for Tani Oluwaseyi, because for me, It's a great call-up and something I really wanted to see. It's a dual national that's massively deserved this call-up. He is up there with some of the best in the MLS. Sometimes look at the MLS and you can say, yes, it's a really attack-centric league. But the fact it's really attack-centric league now means the number nines in that league need to be producing goals. They need to be producing output at very high levels in that division to say, yes, we need to be in this squad. We need to be showing ourselves. And now, when you're in that squad, you have to prove yourself now in training against Charles Andreas Brim, against the likes of Ike Ugbo, guys who are kind of not our number one number nines, but also around the fringes. Theo Bair, Kyle Lerina, it's all up for grabs now under a new manager, and Tani Oluwaseyi coming into training is going to need to prove himself, and I think he will. He's such a great finisher. You can see it on a weekly basis with Minnesota United, becoming one of the best number nines in the MLS. And I think it's going to be very exciting to see how he does and if he gets any minutes for Canada in these friendlies. Get him captied, get him involved, because as it goes, we're going to see a lot of changes within these two friendlies, I think. It's going to be most interesting to see how Jesse Marsch sets up, who's his front two, but also having the front two means you can, as a friendly, you can make so many different substitutions and see who you want to have up top and to try them out, to test them out, to see how they play against some of the world's best in back lines, Virgil van Dijk, Sven Botman, all of the best defenders, and some of the best midfielders, and how they can test themselves. And Tani Oluwaseyi has a great chance in his first ever Canadian camp under Jesse Marsch to prove himself, because personally I thought Tani Oluwaseyi wasn't going to be able to earn a call-up until after Copa America, because it's such an important part, it's such an integral part going into Canada's history as a nation for this federation. And the fact that Jesse Marsch sees that much in him right now, even before Copa America, is very exciting. And I could see him even possibly being involved in that Copa America side if he can do enough to prove himself throughout this friendly. But I find it very interesting how he's ahead of Jason Russell-Rowe right now, how Ali Ahmed didn't get the call-up. But I also think you got to look at it as Ali Ahmed's getting more time with Vancouver Whitecaps. He hasn't had the exact same form as Tani Oluwaseyi. And that dual national factor is also very huge. We have to look at that as well when we're talking about Tani Oluwaseyi getting the call up over JR or all over Ali Ahmed. It just makes sense to bring him in, get him involved in the camp, get him tried and tested against some of the best Canadian players. Because right now, really, that is our best Canadian roster. And before, when that roster came out, you could say, okay, where's Ali Ahmed? Where's Tani Oluwaseyi? Right now, you're only saying, where's Ali Ahmed? And I think Ali Ahmed will be involved in Copa America, whether it's off the bench, starting. It's going to be very interesting, but I think Ali Ahmed will be involved. But this is the best Canadian national team roster we do have. And getting Tani Oluwaseyi involved, this truly just elevates it another level. But the fact that Canada has such a deep striking pool now is very exciting. Tani Oluwaseyi, Theo Bair, Charles Andreas Brim, Jason Russell-Rowe, Jonathan David, Kyle Larin, and so many others. It's a very exciting striking pool, and the fact that Tani Oluwaseyi got to be involved is a sensational call-up, and the fact that we have got him involved in the camp is brilliant. It's a huge mark for Jesse Marsch to get the fans even more on his side as well. And the fact that he can staple his name to that job and get a dual national in and get the fans backing the call-up is massive early doors for Jesse Marsch, because these are going to be extremely difficult friendlies. And it's going to be a great way for him to test out his squad and how he thinks this tide should be lining up. So guys, let me know, did Tani Oluwaseyi deserve this call-up? What do you guys think about Tani Oluwaseyi coming into Jesse Marsch's first ever roster? Drop a comment. I'd really appreciate it, guys. I love interacting with all you guys in the comments. Make sure to drop a like and sub down below, because the appreciation and support has been incredible, and I really appreciate it all, guys. Most importantly, I'll see you guys for the next one, because we have so much content coming out, because there's so much news around this Canadian squad and players. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.